What is going on, my friends? Another video, and this time the video is going to be about the Darkwing Tower, the gears in the Darkwing Tower, and which one, in my opinion, is the absolute best. Now, if you go to the Darkwing Tower rewards, in the main reward section, actually, you can see that in this tower, you can get some kind of underwhelming characters with the exception of MK11 Rain. But today, we are actually talking about the gears, and we're going to start with the regular green pieces and common pieces so that we can know whether they're actually good, whether they're bad, or whether they're just okay. Let's start with the toxic fruit. 30% chance to apply weaken on successful special attack 1. I mean, that's just okay, nothing special here. And 50% basic attack damage boost against enemies affected by weaken. I would say the toxic fruit is just average piece, nothing special. It isn't horrible, but it isn't great at the same time. Tiara of the Damned. Take 30% less damage from all attacks when blocking. Just okay. 40% chance to reflect all damage and combat effects from an opponent's combo ender. This piece is below average. I'm sorry, this isn't really great at all. It is super situational. In certain specific fights this can work, but generally it isn't great at all. Bloody Mary. 20% all attack damage boosts, all special attacks damage boost. Kill the weakest teammate for 20% of the damage dealt on special attack 2. This one is just slightly above average. So generally speaking, the three accessories, the three uncommon pieces are just average. They're not really horrible, they're not completely unusable, but definitely they're not good at the same time. Now let's take a look at the blue pieces. Wrestling Star Jaxophone. 30% all special attack and blockable chance, that's just decent. 50% chance to apply shield break on block breaker attack. Now this is super cool. So definitely the 50% chance to apply shield break on a block breaker attack is really great, I'm not going to lie. 40% chance to apply silence debuff to the whole opponent team on successful special 1. Again, very useful, because if you're spamming special 1, sooner or later you're going to apply a silence, and this is always going to help you. For those of you who don't know what silence does, it basically disables the enemy from using his special 1. So at the end of the day, the Wrestling Star Jaxophone is a pretty good piece of gear. It isn't really the best rare piece, but it is very solid. Let's continue with another rare piece, and this time I will be talking about the Wicked Sisters Festive Mask. This is part of Melina's Brutality set. 50% chance to apply bleed to an opponent on any successful special attack. This is super good. 40% chance to apply incurability debuff to the opponent on 10 seconds on combo ender. This is super useful, especially against regeneration fights. In regeneration fights, this is extremely useful because you'll be doing tons of combo enders, which basically means that once you disable the incurability, more or less you can kill your enemies without any issues. Bleed stacks up to 3 times. The user vampires 33% damage from up to 3 last bleed dots. So, the effect that you unlock at Fusion 10 is absolutely busted. The bleed being stacked is super useful, and the fact that you can heal from it is great. So at the end of the day, the Wicked Sister Festive Mask is one of the very best blue pieces in the game when it comes to dots. It is super useful. It is better than the Jaxophone. However, what you need to understand about this piece is that unfortunately it becomes amazing at Fusion 10. If you just have it Fusion 1 and Fusion 2, it is very good, but not amazing. And this is probably the only drawback when it comes to the Festive Mask. The Dark Mantle. 35% max health boost. Gain invulnerability for 7 seconds after tagging in. 25% chance to avoid damage from opponent's special attacks and apply freeze. Now, probably some of you are going to thinking that this piece is super great, one of the best pieces in the game. I kind of disagree. I believe that the Dark Mantle is just okay. It isn't overpowered. 100% isn't overpowered. And the biggest problem with the Dark Mantle is that invulnerability becomes useful only when you have this piece at kind of high fusion. And when I say kind of high fusion, I mean at least Fusion 5. If you just unlock the piece, the invulnerability is so short that in a lot of cases you're going to eat the special attack anyways, especially when it comes to special attacks that have long animations. If this is the case, if you just unlock the Dark Mantle, you don't find it useful that much, which is unfortunate. So if I have to summarize, the Dark Mantle suffers from the same disease when it comes to the Wicked Sisters Festive Mask. It becomes super good once maxed out. If you maxed out this piece, then I agree, it becomes one of the very best defensive pieces in the game. Because let's be real, this piece doesn't have anything offensive value, it just gives you defensive stuff. Okay, we can kind of argue that the freeze will give you certain utility so that you can start punching and stuff, but generally speaking, this is a defensive piece of equipment, unlike the Festive Mask, which has a lot of offensive value. However, both of them really start shining once they are maxed out. So if I have to summarize, the green piece of this tower are pretty good. Unfortunately, once again, unfortunately, they become good once you step up on the fusions. If you just unlock them, they're not going to be a game changer. So you have to really grind the tower and make sure that you have as many copies of those as physically possible. Alright, let's continue with the the 4 epic pieces. The Wrestling, did I say Wrestling? The Wrestling Stars Last Buff. 40% basic attack and block chance, 100% chance to gain luck on block breaker attack. Jack's Bricks actually once per match resurrects with 50% health and gain 200% damage boost with a 30% chance to power steal on basic attacks for 20 seconds. And at Fusion 10, 50% critical chance critical hit on basic attacks deal additional 1% max health damage and inevitably exhaust 10% of the opponent's max power. This piece, once maxed, is one of the very best epics in the game. It is simply busted. It has the best unblockable chance on accessory. It has luck on block breaker, which you're going to get that. I mean, nothing you can do about it. Definitely going to get the luck. And you can power drain. They can do nothing about it. So you're going to power drain regardless. All in all, one of the very best epics in the game. And I can argue that even if you have it at low fusion, it is absolutely overpowered on a Jax. Because you get the unblockable chance, you get decent chance to apply luck on block breaker attack, and Jax will resurrect once he takes little damage. So, at maximum fusion, it is absolutely busted. At low fusion, it is great on Jax. And I would say that even at low fusion, and even if you don't equip it on a Jax, it is just above average. I would say it's still useful because of the chance to gain luck and the unblockable chance. However, this piece starts shining once maxed out. Wicked Sisters Sultry Gown. Oh my god. 100% chance to apply blind to an opponent after they are tagged in. Gain speed for 15 seconds upon applying blind to an opponent. Melina, 40% chance any negative effect successfully applied by an opponent to Melina will grant her 0.5 bars of power. And when in a fight against a new opponent, reduce their max health by 10% and increase the user's max health by the same amount until the end of the match. Summon characters are not affected. Now, Wicked Sister Sultry Gown, oh my god, is one of the very best armors in the game. I absolutely love it, and it is going to work even at low fusion. However, you have to make sure that you give it to a fighter who can greatly benefit from the speed. And of course, you need to make sure that you can apply blind. If you have this piece at Fusion 0 and the armor fails to apply blind, then you need to have a plan B. So you need to make sure that there is other way you can apply blind so that you can take advantage of the speed buff. So in my opinion, this is one of the very best pieces in the game, but again, it becomes super overpowered once maxed out. Even if it's at low fusion, it will still be good, but not absolutely amazing, which it actually becomes at Fusion 10. And we're going to finish the video with the rest of the epics, which are not really that great, unfortunately. The Soul Seeker, 50% chance to apply Death Mark with any special attack. I mean, that's useful. Let's be real, that's really useful. The user vampires 10% of the damage dealt on an attack for each active Death Mark. This is underwhelming. And remember, the 10% is if you have this piece at Fusion 10. So at low fusion, it's even worse than that. When an opponent is affected by 3 Death Marks at once, there is a 50% chance to apply Stun Combo Ender. This is super bad. Seriously, this is super bad. Like, probably this will be kind of useful in certain boss fights, but at the end of the day, if you apply 3 Death Marks, you're going to kill them regardless, so the stun is not required. Once again, this can be kind of useful if you're fighting bosses. Again, kind of. In my opinion, there will be better alternatives. So, the Soul Seeker, unfortunately, I wouldn't recommend. However, the good news is that you can use it at low fusion just to apply the Death Mark on special attack. So this is the saving grace of this weapon. It is generally bad, but I believe that it has kind of good value at Fusion 0 because you have decent chance to apply Death Mark on special attack. If you don't want to use the talent, you can just equip this piece and apply the Death Mark when you need it. Jinxed Whip. 45% critical hit chance boost. That's always useful. Apply Curse on Combo Ender for 20 seconds. Super good. So that basically you have critical hit chance boost. You're critting all the time and the enemy's curse, so you're doing more damage. When an opponent affected by curse performs a special attack, there is a 50% chance to reflect the damage and distribute it evenly to the whole enemy team. This is very bad. And the reason for that is this piece has been designed to be annoying on bosses, which is the fact. Now, again, it is the same situation like the previous epic. Generally, I would say that this piece is just okay. It's not bad, but it is just okay, because the thing that you unlock at Fusion X is super bad. The first two attributes of the piece are better. What you unlock at Fusion 10 is horrible. So again, this piece at Fusion 0 actually adds more value to account compared to this piece at Fusion 10, because generally you don't really want to eat special attack. And not only that, you have to eat a special attack, but there is only a 50% chance to reflect the damage. So it's not guaranteed. You have to eat 2 special attacks on the same character so that this thing can trigger. 2 special attacks on average. Generally speaking, the Jinx Whip is not really an amazing piece. So if I have to summarize, the best epics in this tower are the Wicked Sister Sultry Gown and the Wrestling Stars Last Puff. The best rares, the Dark Mantle and the Wicked Sisters Festive Mask, and the uncommons are not really worth. Alright guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and see you in the next one. Take care.